Every adult understands the death of a loved one. But how many adults truly understand the death of a city?
You can call it Cairo, Illinois. You can call it Cairo, Illinois, but don't call it Cairo, Illinois. That's wrong. Cairo is in Egypt. Cairo, Illinois is in Little Egypt in southern Illinois. Apparently, somebody thought it reminded them of the Nile Delta, and so they called it Little Egypt. So you have Cairo, Thebes, Karnak, Joppa, and some other Egyptian related names, towns like Olive Branch. Cairo was one of the really sad sights and sounds in this part of the country. Um, at one point, it was a prosperous community of about 15,000. A lot of the prosperity was gained based on prostitution and gambling. And one of the reasons Cairo began to go downhill, in my mind, is that they decided to clean out the town. They got rid of the gambling and the prostitution. That took out some of the money. There were other economic reasons that hurt the town, the economy. It was based on railroads, and the rail traffic just turned out not to contribute that much to the community. A lot of it passed through. The same way with river business, river commerce stops there, the barges tie up, but they don't leave a lot of money behind, and there's not a lot of other economic reason to be in Cairo. Another big reason was Cairo was the site of about 10 years of racial violence and hard feelings. It started with sit-ins at some of the stores that escalated into fire bombings and exchanges of gunfire. And today, the community, instead of being 15,000, when you drive into town, the sign says 3,600. I don't know if that's exaggerated or not, but it is almost like going into a ghost town when you reach the commercial part of Cairo on Commercial Avenue. A vibrant retail area where people came from at least 3 states to shop just decayed to the point that they bulldozed down one side of the road and probably will the other. It was just a depressed site. There have been all sorts of efforts to bring Cairo back to what it was, but sometimes I don't think that towns can actually recover. They can't start over. Cairo is surrounded by levees. You have the Ohio River on one side, the Mississippi on another, the Cache River to the north. There's not much room for Cairo to grow. When the backwater gets up, you can look up at the levees and see river boats going down that are up above your head. So there's just a very confined space for the town to have a residence and commercial buildings. But it's a town that people who grew up there love. I love it. My first real job was at the newspaper in Cairo, the Cairo Evening Citizen. At that time, it was 6 days a week daily. I was a sports writer. Later, I became sports editor. I was managing editor. I was a columnist. And I loved the town. I loved the paper. I loved the people. And I would love to see it be prosperous again. Don't know if that can ever happen, but we certainly wish Cairo the best of luck.